Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. ENSLEY REIGN is coming out with a whole new collection, which is Flutter and Flourish collection. I'm going to divide the video in two different dates just because I feel like it needs its own glory. Today, we're going to talk about the newest Flutter collection from ENSLEY REIGN. This is how the packaging looks. Look how stunning it is. Absolutely gorgeous. This collection was sent to me in PR, including everything, and I am an affiliate with ENSLEY REIGN and I'm so grateful for that. Very grateful for that. My code is Smithy Sony to save you 10% off. So anything on their website, and I have almost everything that they own in their collection. I really am very grateful for that. But yes, if you want to purchase anything from their website, my code is Smithy Sony. If you use it, I thank you very much. And if you've not seen the packaging, I mean, it is just gorgeous. It also comes with the same kind of sleeve, and that is the palette all in its glory. Of course, I've swatched it. I'll show you live swatches, two different eye looks using this palette. So if you're ready, let's begin. Definitely smaller than the rest of the packages that you see behind. Actually, let me show you. Generally, the packages are like this size, and you can see this is definitely, oh my gosh, okay. This is definitely much smaller than that. As soon as I saw this in the mail, I was so excited just because we've actually talked about it. I know there are a lot of people who really want to try ENSLEY REIGN Cosmetics, and I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for you guys if you are a muted tone color wearer or if you're a bright color tone wearer. This collection is for you. Let's talk about the Flutter palette. The whole collection comes with a palette for the Flutter and one for the Flourish, and then it has a blush, it has a lip gloss, and both the collection have two individual single pressed eyeshadows. I also have 6 moon dust. At this point when I'm filming, I don't know which 3 are for Flourish, which 3 are for Flutter, or is it all combined together as one collection? I don't know. It's not mentioned in anywhere. And also the prices, I'll put it on the screen for you guys and also in the description below for you guys, because at the moment I do not know anything like the launch date, the prices. I know nothing. Okay, so let's talk about individual products because I know that you guys are excited about it. So this is the packaging that it comes with. When you open it, the palette sits right here. Okay, so let's talk about the palette. It's the same art cover as the packaging itself. Very mythical, very beautiful. And you can see by the color of the packaging, that's exactly what it is inside too. I love these artwork that ENSLEY REIGN has. Oh, this is so pretty. So pretty. I was so excited when I saw this. It comes with a sleeve, and the palette art cover is also exactly like this, comes with a mirror, and this time we are getting 12 pan eyeshadow palette instead of 21, and I am so excited. So this is the Flutter palette, as you can see, all in its glory, and this is so beautiful, you guys. I know people who are into greens will love it for sure, but the people who are not into greens like me would also appreciate it because all the tones of the greens here are much muted except this shade. This is like such a beautiful, powerful, would I call it neon? No, I'll call it more pastel-y. Like this and this shade is a very pastel as compared to neon. The Flourish palette is definitely much more neon. So that's the palette. Let's also see the blush. Same kind of packaging with the same girl here, girl or fairy, and everything behind it. It's so beautiful. Comes with a sleeve, and this is the blush, and this is in the shade. What's the shade? Is it just called Flutter Blush? I think it will be just called the Flutter Blush. So this is the Flutter Blush, and this is definitely such a beautiful peachy orangey shade. We're definitely gonna put that on our face up because I cannot wait. It's definitely much more like peachy pink coral shade. So let's apply that. Like you can see. And I think this is the first ENSLEY REIGN blush. Am I mistaken? I don't think I have any ENSLEY REIGN blush in my collection. So I'm very excited, and it's buildable, it's blendable, very, very smooth matte blush. That's very, very pretty. I love it. There you go. A++, okay? Very excited. Okay, let's talk about the lip gloss. So this Flutter lip gloss, is it white? No, it is not. Is it transparent? No, it is not. Can you see this? I think it's like that glowy, like a blue purple iridescent. Let's see this, okay? Because I'm dying to see. I'm not swatched it at all. Let's do it with you guys. I love a good chunky doe foot applicator. Woo. This is so fun. Is it for me? I don't know. But this is so fun. It's so glowy. Oh my gosh. Can you see that? Yep. In the Halloween, this would come in super handy. But I know a lot of people like rock this shade. But look at how glowing it is. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Very excited about that. Okay. Now, it seems like it's not going much places and will stick to your lips for a long time, because it's definitely a little bit harder to remove. It went away, but yeah, it took a little bit of elbow grease. Okay, let's talk about the two individual pressed pigments, pressed eyeshadows. We have Whispering Willow, which is this green one, and we have Shattered Wings, which is that neutral one. So let's swatch it. The same kind of packaging with that girl. I love it. And everything is like sealed. Can you see that? Everything is like sealed. I love these small things that they do. Beautiful multi-chrome, it seems like. I can see golden, green, so shimmery too. Like, look at that. Again, this is called Whispering Willow. Let's watch it. Pretty, so smooth. So smooth. Green lovers, you have it covered. You see gold, right? Wait. Woohoo! So magical. That's a beautiful green, gold, multi-chrome. Pretty, very, very impactful, very, very shiny. So that's Whispering Willow. Let's move on to the next shade. This is gonna come in super handy for me for sure. This is called Shattered Wings. You know, I like a good, beautiful everyday shade. So that's Shattered Wings. Looks very sparkly, but I don't see much of shift happening. Let's watch it. Yeah, I don't think this is a shifty shadow. I just feel like this is a beautiful, sparkly, neutral shadow. Maybe there is a shift. Did I speak too soon? Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. What? That is so stunning. Feels like it's deja vu. Okay, look at that. You tell me if you see a shift, because when I was watching it, I felt like it was like a champagne, but it shifts to a green, like a lime blue green, like an aqua shade. But I don't know if it's because there's a green right next to it. It's so shimmering. Wow, that's beautiful. I can just go on and that'll be amazing. It's so sparkly, you guys. Look at that. And so smooth. That's what I love. Let's see if I shear it out, because sometimes I just like a good, like a soft shimmery look, and this is beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at that, you guys. I didn't even take extra product, but you saw that, right? So pretty. That's beautiful. Oh, I'm excited. Can you say? That's stunning. So that was Shattered Wings. Now let's put that baby on our eyes. Okay, let's start with the palette because I cannot wait. There's so many neutral looks also that you can do with this, and my heart, oh my goodness. It's so pretty, you guys. Definitely cannot wait for more looks, but 2 would be very less. Just saying. Okay, let's start off with that orchid orange shade, which is that pastel-y orange shade. And I'm just gonna focus that right there in the inner portion of the crease. That's so bright, even to like just melt everything together. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let's start off with a deeper shade, which is Echo, this one. It looks like a black, it's not. It is like a deepened black green, I would say. I hope you can see it. Definitely a very deep, dark, foresty green shade. If you don't look so closely, it would appear like a black, but it is not. I'm gonna take that purple shade Wisp. I don't know where am I going with this, but we'll see. I'm gonna take that. Melt it with that green, which almost looks like a black. And then melt it down with that pastel orange shade. Look how effortlessly that blended. That's the beauty about ENSLEY REIGN eyeshadows. I mean, that's just stunning. And I would have taken like 10 seconds. That's beautiful. I'm gonna go back into pastel-y orangey shade just to melt it with that purple, also to brighten the inner corners. There you go. Not too much worried about it, just because there's so much that's gonna come. For the lower lash line, let's take that Wisp shade, that purple, and I'm also gonna take this Flicker shade, which is that gray blue, and just melt it down together. Now for the shimmers. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. It's so pretty, man. I'm gonna start off with this shade Pixie Petal, this one, and then I'm gonna take this shade. This might be my favorite shade in the palette. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's such a beautiful shade. I'm taking a very little bit of Pixie Petal because this is a very extremely shiny, creamy multichrome. So I'm gonna take that because I will smoothen it out on my eyelid, because I know these kind of textures from ENSLEY REIGN. Little goes such a long way. Look how stunning that is. Look at it, look at it. Oh my goodness. And that was literally like a teeny tiny touch. Okay, now going into the other shade. I can do so much, but I definitely want to use that shade Moonflower. This one, this is definitely, oh my god, I cannot even tell you. It's a neutral, but it is duochrome, multichrome, I don't even know. I'm gonna take that right there. Look at that. Oh my gosh, looks so wet on the eyes. All these shades are so stunning. Just gonna melt it with that pink that we had right there. That's so pretty, you guys. Once we have that all across the eyelid, I am gonna finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back. And that's my first eye look. I really love the way how this turned out. It's so pretty. Like, you can do so much with this palette. It's unreal. Like, I would easily do like a bronzer on my eyelid and that Moonchild shade on all across my lid and call it a day and go to office and still look so pretty and so vibrant, so dimensional. I absolutely love it. And I love extremely beautiful that multichrome on the eyelid. That's so shifty, so sparkly. I cannot wait to create more with this. Let's move on to the second eye look. So for the second eye look, I'm gonna take the same shade Echo because that is the deepest shade in the palette, and I feel like that would complement a lot of shades here. So I'm gonna take that same shade and I'm gonna start with that on the outer eyelid. I'm happy that it's not a black, but it can act like a black because it's easily buildable. Look at that, it's so pretty. Okay, I'll take the same brush and I'll dip my brush into this shade, which is Magic Moss, this one, and see where that takes us, because it's a beautiful, like a yellow green shade, like a pukey green. It's such a beautiful shade, like a murky shade. I'm gonna take that all across the crease and blend it with that deeper shade. Look how easily it blended two with each other. Now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna do the same thing. Take Magic Moss all across the lower lash line and melt it with that Echo shade, the deepest shade in the palette, on the outer corners. And with that, we have used all the mattes of the palette. Now let's move on to the shimmers. Okay, I want to take this Golden Hour shade because I cannot stop myself. This one, it's like a gray, blue, pink, green. Right there. Look how stunning that shade is. That's just so pretty. Dip into this shade, another stunning shade, Dewdrops. I'm just taking a little bit, just tapping off the edges with that green shade. When I swatched this is the first shimmer that I swatched in the palette, and my jaw was like, what? That's definitely my favorite shade. And then I swatched everything else and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what's my favorite shade now. I'm gonna take the same outer corner brush and just blend the edges so that there's no harsh lines between the shimmers and the mattes. Okay, and now for the inner corners, I'm gonna take a tighter brush. For the inner corners, let's take the shade Mystic Meadow. This looks so magical, you guys, so magical. Okay, so let's take Mystic Meadow. Definitely a green, but it has like a brownier, reddier base to it. And just plop that in the inner corners. Like a faux cut crease kind of situation. Look at that. You clearly can see the difference. So pretty. That is stunning. So I think there's only one shade that we did not use. So let's use that. And that is the shade Slimph, this one. So let's take that, plop that in the inner corners and see what's that all about. Okay, that has a pink to a blue purple shift. That's a stunning shade too. Just taking it on the lower lash line, wrapping it around. And let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara. And that's my second eye look. I'm so loving these tones. It pops so beautifully. It still looks so elegant, but it's so dimensional on the eyes, which I absolutely love. Yes, I know that we've not used those two multi-chromes in. So I am gonna just test out this one shade, which is Shattered Wings, because that is definitely the sparklier one, as well as that will not coincide with like the other eye looks. Look at that. I'm gonna do that on the inner corners of this eye look. This is stunning. Just stunning, just stunning. I love it. Okay. I'm absolutely flabbergasted by this shade selection in this palette. I don't know how Flourish can beat this, but this is absolutely amazing. Now, once you've seen all of this, now let's move on to the live swatches. Let's start off with the mattes in the palette. So Orchid Orange, Flicker, Serenity, Wisp. Look how stunning that is. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. You can see how vibrant these shades are. Let's do the next two and then I'll show you. We have Magic Moss and Echo. Magic Moss and Echo. And those are the mattes of the palette. There you go. Very beautiful, very pigmented, very blendable and buildable. Now let's move on to the shimmers. Okay, we're gonna do dewdrops, pixie petal, just taking a little bit, slymph, then we're taking golden hour. Okay, so beautiful, so stunning. Let's do the next two too, and then I'll show you the whole palette. Next we have Mystic Meadow, and then Moonflower, Mystic Meadow and Moonflower. Oh my gosh, how stunning. Okay, so those are the shimmery shades of the palette. You can see how shifty, how dimensional, how beautiful, electric, muted, I don't even know. Just absolutely stunning. This color story is calling out to me. Let me show you these swatches in the outside lighting too, so that you can see all the shifts, the shine, the shimmering action with this palette, because it's totally unreal. And now once you've seen all the swatches with the Flutter collection, let's also do a comparison. I know that a lot of people are asking for the comparison swatches. So this, as you know, is the Flutter palette. I am going to show it next to the Flower Moon palette because I feel like that's the most requested comments. So this is the Flower Moon palette and this is the Flutter palette. There you go. Let me see which ones are very close and I'll swatch those with you. Okay, let's do Pink Moon from the Flower Moon palette with the Pixie Petal, this shade from the Flutter palette. It's definitely different. Definitely is different. Can you see? One's more like peachy green and the other one's like pink to green. When I see at my end, it's more prominently different as compared to this. So that's the swatches for that. Okay, let's do this. Awakening from the Flower Moon palette against Mystic Meadow from the Flutter palette. Okay, this is Flower Moon. This is the Flutter palette. Now those are very similar. I would say those are very similar. Okay, there you go. Only that the Flutter palette's shimmer is much more sparklier, whereas the Flower Moon's one is more like sheenier, but same shifts going on. Yeah, pretty much the same shifts. Okay, next let's do this Slymph shade and we'll take the this shade, Persephone shade. I think that would be similar, or maybe Sapling. I'll swatch this also. This is the Sapling shade, this is the Persephone shade, and we also have the Flutter palette shade, which is Slymph. So let's do the Flutter palette first. Okay, so that's Slymph, Persephone, and some other shade. What do you say? Similar, but all of them are a little different at my end. Like the Slymph shade is the most neutrally toned because it has like a brown base to it. But the rest of the other two shades from the Flower Moon palette, one is more purpley pink and the other one is more pinky bluey orange. Looks very similar on my hand, but it is a little different. Okay, as far as the mattes are concerned, None of the mattes match this. None of the other shimmers match this. Okay, so that's the Flower Moon palette. Let me see it next to the other palettes too. Harvest Moon and the Flutter palette. Let's do it like this. Harvest Moon and the Flutter palette. Not any like similarities that I can see. Cold Moon is completely different because it's, you know, cool tones. Cosmic Dreamer, pretty different, I would say. There you go. Pretty different. So this is Groovy Garden, and I would say different enough. Those are the comparison. I would say a few shades from the Flower Moon matches, but nothing much. So those are the 2 looks that I created for you guys. Do let me know in the comment section below. Out of these 2 looks, which one was your favorite? Are you more into the greens and the blues, or are you more into pinks? I really loved both the eye looks, how it turned out. It's been quite some hours later that I have filmed, and still you can see there's no creasing, nothing happening, but the shadows look still vibrant and powerful. I really love it. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like it, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.